Hello and welcome to my unit comparison video of the Adeptus Mechanicus Skitarii Rangers on the left in the red corner and the Skitarii Vanguard on the right in the blue corner. I don't normally make videos like this where I compare different units. I normally stick to my unboxings and reviews and first looks and rules reviews and things like that, but I have been requested by a few people to create this video because they're either new to the hobby, new to Adeptus Mechanicus, or they're just starting out with Adeptus Mechanicus and maybe they bought a start collecting set and they're not sure, and they've got two options of building them as the Rangers or the Vanguard, and they wanted me to make a video to explain the positives and negatives of each of the two units because it can be a little bit confusing, really. I mean, to start off with, you'll find the rules for both of these in the 2017 Adeptus Mechanicus Codex, so it's over 3 years old, that codex. No doubt we'll get a 9th edition one at some point. We've recently just had the Psychic Awakening Engine War book, which introduced no less than 10 separate units to the army, and a much requested reinforcement to the fast attack aspect of the army, which only consisted of 2 units to begin with. But anyway, let's move on to this unit comparison. So I'll go through the Rangers first of all, then the Vanguard, and then I will compare them both and give you my final verdict of which you should really go for. The Rangers on the left are a power points cost of a 4. And that's exactly the same as the Vanguard. So power points cost wise and unit composition wise, they're both exactly the same. You have a Ranger Alpha and 4 Rangers, and you can have an additional 5 Rangers or 5 Vanguard. Now, match play points cost, Vanguard are more expensive. They cost 9 points per model, but the Rangers are 8 points per model. The Rangers stat line reads exactly the same as the Vanguard stat line, which is a movement of 6 inches, weapon skill of 4+, ballistic skill 3+, strength 3, toughness 3, 1 wound, 1 attack, leadership 6, and a save of 4+. It's mediocre in terms of troops, with comparing it obviously to Space Marines. Space Marines have a better weapon skill, better strength and toughness, much better leadership, and of course that magical power armor save of 3+. The main difference between these two troop choices is that the Rangers have these galvanic rifles and the Vanguard have the radium carbines. So already the differences in the unit weapons loadout will provide the basis of which unit to pick. You can go for the longer ranged Rangers because their galvanic rifles have a range of 30 inches, they're rapid fire 1, strength 4, AP 0 and a damage of 1. However, every time you make a wound roll of a 6+, the hit is resolved with an AP of -1. Well, whoop-de-doo. But still, they go for the long range shots. The war gear options are exactly the same as the Vanguard, so up to 2 Skitarii Rangers may replace their galvanic rifle with 1 item from the special weapons list. If the unit numbers 10 models, 1 additional Skitarii Ranger may replace their galvanic rifle with 1 item from the special weapons list. 1 Skitarii Ranger may also have either an enhanced data tether or an omnispecs. The Ranger Alpha may take 1 item from the melee weapons list and may replace their galvanic rifle with 1 item from the pistols list. That all works exactly the same as the Vanguards. Now, what are these special weapons and melee weapons and pistol weapons that it teases you with? Well, the special weapons, you've got a choice between an arc rifle, a plasma caliber, or a transuranic arquebus. Pistol weapons, you've got an arc pistol, phosphor blast pistol, a radium pistol, and the melee weapons, you've got an arc maul, a power sword, or a taser goad. I just like calling it a taser toad. Anyway, their abilities, Canticles of the Omnissiah. This is where you pick one of the canticles every battle round. It's kind of like a bonus. You've got 6 different canticles, everything from re-rolling morale tests to enemies suffering D3 mortal wounds to re-rolling hit rolls of a 1 and so on. They've both got this Canticles of the Omnissiah ability. Bionics. All models in this unit have a 6+ invulnerable save. So that's nice. You know, your standard troops have an invulnerable save. It is only a 6+, but still. Omnispecs. Enemies units do not receive the benefit to their saving throws for being in cover against attacks made by a unit that includes a model with an Omnispecs. I think I already mentioned that one of the Rangers can have either enhanced data tether or an Omnispecs. Then if you pick the enhanced data tether instead, you can reroll failed morale test for a unit that includes a model with an enhanced data tether. Those items are both very useful. It depends if you've got a unit of 5 or a unit of 10. If you've got a unit of 10, I'd probably suggest you go for an Omnispecs. But if they're a smaller unit, better to have the data tether. So that's it for the Rangers. They're long range, 30-inch weapons. They can have a number of special weapons, including that transuranic arquebus, which is the weapon right here. Of course, you can have that in your Vanguard unit. You know, you can have there's 3 special weapons in that unit too. The transuranic arquebus is a 60-inch range weapon, heavy 1, strength 7, AP -2 and a damage of D3. The weapon cannot be fired if the firing model moved during the movement phase, and the weapon may target character even if it's not the closest enemy unit. And every time you make a wound roll of a 6+, you inflict a mortal wound in addition to its normal damage. So that's a really, really decent sniper rifle. I can't see anywhere where you're not allowed 3 of them. You know, it says up to 2 of them may replace the rifle with 1 item from the special weapons list. So you can have 2 transuranic rifles there, and then if you've got 10 of them, you can have another one. So you can have 3 out of the 10 equipped with these arquebuses. However, you do pay a little bit of a price for them because they're 25 points each. Now that's it for the Rangers. So long range, they've got the same stat line as the Vanguard. They can have the same special weapons as the Vanguard. They do everything else the same. The Vanguard have different weapons and they have an additional ability. Something that I wish the Rangers would have had. I don't know, something along the lines of enhanced scouts or a ranger finder ability, or something that helps with their 30-inch range weapons. I don't know, maybe you can re-roll hit rolls on a 4+ every turn. Something extra. They don't have that. Vanguard do have this extra ability, and we'll talk about that now. So as I said before, stat line's all the same, but it's the weapons that are different. So you're forgoing the 30-inch range weapon here for a radium carbine, which is a range 18-inch, assault 3, strength 3, AP 0 and a damage of 1. Each time you make a wound roll of a 6 for this weapon, that hit inflicts 2 damage instead of 1. So this is where it gets juicy. If you equip all of them, so the full 10 with just the radium carbines, you've then got 30 shots. Yes, they're only strength 3, but if you get 6s, then you're getting 2 damage instead of 1, which is amazing for 30 shots. You still got a wound though, and you may not get to wound because of the poor strength of the weapon. But it's great that they're equipped with these Assault 3 carbines, which means they've got an effective range there of 24 inches. You definitely need to have this Vanguard squad in that Dune Rider that you can see at the back, or a Archaeopter Transvector. But again, with the Transvector, although it's the fastest transport, you can only have 6 in that transport. And I start to question how effective this unit is with only 6 of them. So the war gear options, exactly the same options as the Rangers. Abilities then. All of the same abilities apply from the Rangers to the Vanguard, except the Vanguard have an additional ability called Rad Saturation. You reduce the toughness of enemy units other than vehicles by 1 whilst they are within 1 inch of any Skitarii Vanguard units. So that means they have to be in close combat. And they've only got 1 attack. Their strength is only 3. The Alpha may get bonuses because of his purchased melee weapons, and he's got 2 attacks as well. So it kind of evens out the playing field a little bit. If you're going up against another army's troop choice, chances are they're going to be toughness 3. So that's going to reduce it down to toughness 2. If you're going up against Space Marines, which, yeah, I think you've got a bit of a suicide mission if you're charging Space Marines with 10 Vanguard, but still, you're going to reduce their toughness from 4 down to 3. And that's it for the differences. So breaking it down, it really depends whether you want to keep the distance from enemy models and fire afar with these 30-inch galvanic rifles. I've probably not got the best loadout there because I've included 3 totally different special weapons, so it's probably best if I would have gone for 3 transuranic arquebuses, but you only get 1 in the set itself anyway. But I've also got the arc rifle and the plasma caliber there. Now the plasma caliber is an 18-inch assault 2 weapon, which would definitely suit the Vanguard more, and I've got one right here, and I've gone for the arc rifle too in both of the squads, mainly because it's a 24-inch rapid fire weapon, but it can do more damage to vehicles. It's got a damage of D3. So I've lost range there of 2 of this Ranger squad, because I think in the review I probably would have made these to show you what these funky cool new weapons look like, but in terms of gameplay, if you can squeeze 3 arquebuses into this squad, that's really good. If not, maybe only take 1 special weapon, in particular the 24-inch arc rifle, but having one of them equipped with a plasma caliber does give them a bit more bite, because they are an AP-3 weapon with 2 shots. So you can go for 10 Vanguard with 3 plasma calibers, and you're getting 6 strength 7 AP-3 shots off there, and that would be the way to go forward with both of the units. Their effectiveness really does boil down to the special weapons you choose to equip the squad with. With the Rangers, I would definitely try and go for 3 arquebuses and keep that range at 30 inches or even 60 inches, and pick out characters. With the Vanguard, I'd heavily lean towards getting up close and personal with plenty of plasma calibers, maybe an arc rifle instead. In terms of the alphas, it really depends on what you're looking for. You can go for the power sword, you can go for the power maul, or you can go for the taser goad as well, which does bump up the strength of the alpha and increases the number of hits that you can get with it. So in summary, one troop choices is purely dedicated to range, that 30-inch, and the other squad is focused on much shorter range, but a higher number of shots and a reduction in toughness. Now you could have a strategy whereby you purposely assault a unit with these Vanguard to reduce the toughness, and then assault them with a much stronger unit. That's an effective strategy. But really the Rangers are the unit that you want to keep as far back as possible. You don't want them rushing in. They have the rapid fire weapons. They're good to drop on an objective and leave them on an objective, especially if it's in cover, whereas the Vanguard are more suited for taking an objective or taking on a unit with multiple bodies. I hope this comparison video has helped you decide which unit to go for. If you do have any further questions, as always, please do put it in the comments below. And moving forward, if there are any other unit comparison videos you'd like me to create, please do put your suggestion down below in the comments. It'd be great to hear from you. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. The Omnissiah protects.